Hello everyone, Dave here welcoming you back to another video today. As per the title and the fighters we have on screen for our little Smash Brothers token background footage, we've got Deku, All Might, and Froppy facing off. So obviously this video is going to be about My Hero. We're going to be talking a little bit about My Hero today. More specifically, my dream My Hero Academia game. My Hero has obviously taken the world by storm as one of the most popular anime out, at least out right now. It's kind of had not necessarily a little bit of a dying off or anything, but with the emergence of Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer, it's kind of taken a little bit of a backseat in my mind, especially when it comes to the gaming sphere. But it's still not dead. I mean, we've got two mobile games fairly recently. We, of course, have My Hero One's Justice 1 and 2, which were both pretty good fighting games. They were, in all honesty, kind of the same game. One's Justice 2 took what the first one did and added on it, made it a little bit better. But for the most part, they were both two pretty solid fighting games. And then, of course, we have the Battle Royale game coming out. I'm not quite sure when. I think there was a beta in Japan recently, so we may not see that for a little while. And, as much as I'm not really much a fan of Battle Royale, I do appreciate something a little different and something kind of new. Because not every shonen anime game needs to be a straight-up fighter. So I appreciate, the twist on the formula. But basically, it's got me thinking more and more about what other My Hero games we could see. And I've had this idea for a My Hero game for the longest time, and I've had no one to talk about it with. So I figured I would make a video about it and, share my thoughts and see what you guys think and see if this is something you'd be interested in or if I'm just completely out of my mind. So basically, this hypothetical My Hero game would be a lot of these games that I think of, I mentioned this in a previous video I did talking about Jump Force. I think Xenoverse has a really great formula, a really great balance of a good fighting system, because as much as I say all of these games don't need to be straight up fighters, I mean, they are fighting anime, at least in the shonen realm. It's kind of what they're known for, so giving us a kind of different take on the fighting genre, like Xenoverse has, where it's more of an arena fighter, it's more open-ended, there are a lot more team battles and things like that. So, and I think that goes in with the theme of My Hero, with, the class and working together and, sidekicks, heroes, that sort of thing. So basically taking that and kind of expanding upon it a little bit. I think it would be fun to create your own hero and to, go through the training, go through the school. Let me touch on what it would look like first. I think on a base level, you take Xenoverse's combat system and the Xenoverse idea of the teachers. You would work with your trainers and everything, like Krillin or Gohan or Goku or Vegeta or whoever, and you would level them up and learn new moves. I think it would be cool to do that, especially with the school setting that My Hero has. I think it would be easy and something, that makes sense in the context of the show. Like, you train with All Might, or you train with what's her name? The sexy teacher, Nightshade. Nightshade, I think. You trade with Eraser, and you learn some of their moves, and you can even train with your fellow students and learn their moves too. Maybe you're a new addition to Class 1A, and everyone's like, "Oh man, how'd this kid get to Class 1A?" Or maybe you start at Class 1C or something, and you work your way up to 1B and then to 1A. Maybe that's the progression aspect of the game, is you're moving up in the classes. Or maybe you give the player a whole host of freedom and say, hey, maybe you go into the sidekick the room, or I don't really know how much you would make a game out of the business classes that they have. The hero business, I think, is something, or I could be making that up, but they have Oh gosh, I forget her name. The one character that always makes all the gadgets. You could be that sort of hero. I honestly, I don't really know how you would make a game out of it, so that may be asking a little too much. Maybe just sticking with the typical, I want to be a hero class 1A, 1B type scenario where you move up the ranks that way. But I think just giving the player a whole host of freedom to not only create your own hero, but to create how you want your, like, not the looks, but how you want your hero to play. Um, so basically, you could learn new moves from your fellow students and from your teachers, and you go out on missions. And I think what would benefit the game well, and this may be a little too hard to implement with all the other systems going on, but something that I think would be really cool is adding in maybe some persona elements, because we've seen in the show that they're not always out, fighting bad guys. There's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of time in the dorms. There's a lot of chit-chatting and talking with one another. And I think that would be something that would be really cool to implement. So like add in some persona elements where you talk to your teammates, you talk to your friends, you form bonds. I've been playing a lot of Captain Tsubasa Rise of New Champions lately, and that game has a very unique character creation system in where the way that you play changes how your character plays. So if you take a lot of shots on goal, for example, and if you are really good at dribbling, your dribbling stats are going to go up. Your shot and your power is going to go up. Or if you're more of a defensive player, your defense is going to go up. So maybe the people you interact with, the way you are on missions, maybe that turns your hero into the hero that you want to be. So maybe it's not a number, even though I'm a sucker for numbers. So I'm, okay with some overarching stat and point allocation systems. But like maybe just the way that you carry yourself as a hero and the way that you talk to your teammates. Maybe you could be a hothead like Bakugo and be a fucking asshole, or you could be somebody nice like Asui, or somebody a little more stoic like Todoroki, and that kind of changes maybe how the public and other heroes view you. And that may also change how your character plays. You may have more kind of support attacks like Asui does, where she'll in the show we've seen her like use her tongue to like grab her teammate and help throw them up somewhere or something like that. Or maybe if you're a hothead, you'll have more Bakugo style attacks which are in your face, heavy damage dealing, stuff like that. So I think all those systems together could really make an interesting thing. So throughout the quote unquote week, you would go to class, the way you do in your classes, whether it's a sit down class where you maybe answer a couple little questions or whatever, the way you answer those questions, and then maybe you have your in-field training, and the way you fight in the training, kind of shapes your character. And maybe at the end of each week you go out with a hero or you go out with a partner on a mission, and then that is like kind of the big mission of the week, and the way you handle yourself there determines how the next step in the hero process. And eventually you maybe get to a point where you can move up to class 1A, and then maybe get to a point where you can become a full-fledged hero yourself. I mean, it would definitely be a big game. It would probably wind up being a kind of a long game given all the systems and all the stuff that you could throw in there. So I don't really see this ever being made because it would take a lot of time and a lot of money. But I think it would also make a lot of money. I mean, with how popular My Hero is, and with the game as interesting and expansive, not that I'm trying to, suck my own dick and say my own idea is interesting, but I think the systems in place could be kind of fun to mess around with and, create different styles of heroes and everything like that. So, yeah, I mean, that might kind of be it. I mean, basically, the elevator pitch for this one would be, obviously with the basis of Xenoverse, because I mean, Xenoverse's system has its problems. I'm not saying it's flawless, but I think not just its combat system, but its quest structure, its story structure, its character creation and gameplay structure, I think is very solid, and I think you could apply that to a lot of different anime properties pretty easily. Or at least, in a way that makes sense. Like, I'm not saying take Xenoverse's structure and apply it to, like, Fruits Basket. That's not what I'm saying at all. But, like, if you took that and applied it to My Hero, I think it makes a lot of sense. So take that initial structure and mix in some persona elements with going to school, talking to your teammates and your classmates, and learning new skills and everything like that. And then, a whole maybe week cycle or day and night cycle or something. And, in the trade-off is like, for example, in Persona, you could go hang out with your friends, or you could go do this other thing. I haven't played a whole lot of Persona, but I know a little bit, to basically say that, hey, that system would be interesting in other aspects. So maybe in the context of My Hero, maybe some skills work better if you have, let's say, a higher intelligence, let's say like an area of effect skill. I'm trying to think of an example. Like Eraser's I don't think, like, his paralyzation thing, where it's not really paralyzing, but like if you look at him, you can't move or something. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't watched My Hero in a minute, so I don't remember the specifics of his power, but I hope you all are following what I'm trying to say. So basically, a skill like that may take a lot more technique and a lot more studying. So would you want to go to class and get better at that skill? Or if you go to, like, let's say the gym, or let's say a training exercise, and you get better at power, like fisticuffs type attacks, and then you can do more of All Might or Bakugo or Deku style moves. And then shape your character that way. And then come the end of the game, you have a sort of unique character that's, not just different because you allocated points differently, but different because you played the game possibly different than other people may have played the game. And I think that would increase a lot of replayability. I think that would just be a lot of fun. So yeah, that's my dream My Hero game. It's something that honestly I've thought of for a long time. Like, I thought it kind of writes itself. At the very least, a My Hero game where you learn skills from your teachers and classmates, like taking out all the extra Persona style systems and the other, weekday and relationship systems, like that, all that stuff I think is beneficial and I think makes sense in the context of the game and the context of the world. But all of that other stuff is not really necessary. But I think just a system of, like, you're a character, you create your hero, because obviously that's kind of the whole point of the show as well, is creating your own hero. I barely touched on that. It's like, that's kind of the whole point, is, at least from Deku's perspective, is he's learning to become his own person and become his own hero. And I think from a player's perspective, we would want to be able to experience that as well. I mean, I find it super crazy how we've had a few My Hero games and none of them have featured character customization. Now, again, there are some people that don't care about that, and there are some people that honestly are turned off by that. How every anime game needs character customization nowadays. Like, some people legitimately don't like that. I've heard a few arguments online saying that that's, kind of killing anime games. And I can agree with some points, but I think it's comes in, I think it comes, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry, I'm stalling. Not stalling, but like I'm just blanking out. There's a right time and there's a right place. Now, am I asking for a Demon Slayer game with character customization? I mean, honestly, I am, because I'm a sucker for character customization. But does it make sense in the context of the show? No, not really. But a game like One Punch Man, and don't even get me started on that game sucked. But like One Punch Man or My Hero, where they're both about heroes, they're both about becoming a hero and becoming your own person, I think that makes sense. And it kind of boggles my mind how Bandai or whoever develops the My Hero games haven't done that yet. I think it would be cool. I mean, they've teased the idea of at least some sort of character customization in the One's Justice games with all the costumes and everything, and that's cool. But I want to create my own guy. I want to create my own hero. And I think adding in Xenoverse systems of learning skills and everything and different techniques is kind of a no-brainer. So, yeah. Yeah, honestly, I don't really know what else to say. I just hope that that I'm not alone in that mindset. Otherwise, I feel like this is a game that I came up with that is only for me, and I don't want that because I don't. I'm not trying to make this hypothetical game just for myself because that wouldn't be very fun. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments who your favorite My Hero character is. Mine is 100% Froppy, or Asui. She is so cool, and she is just the best. I think she's the best My Hero character. Who's your least favorite? Mine's Bakugo. He's a trash character, and he's super unnecessary. Fight me in the comments. I will. I will go to war. I will die on that hill. Bakugo is the most unnecessary character. Todoroki could have easily been Deku's rival, and it would have had the same, if not better, of an effect. And Bakugo just yells all the time, and it's annoying and not fun to watch. But anyway, a Bakugo rant is a video for another day, possibly. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this hypothetical game in the comments below. Let me know your favorite and possibly even least favorite My Hero characters, because why the hell not? And again, I know I get a little rambly, but I like just having this channel just kind of be a shooting the shit anime talking channel, and I like the idea of just chatting with you guys. So again, I hope you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you all so very much for watching. Have a great day.